Greetings and welcome to Magnets, Crystals, and Pyramids. I am your host, Brother Ankh Rising Sun, also known as Uncle Hanky, and tonight I just made for you, my family, some graphics for personal empowerment. So we're going to use this, and y'all let me know how you like this. Here we go. Welcome to Magnets, Crystals, and Pyramids. Success is your destiny. So, without further ado, let's do the opening for tonight's show. Thank you for being born. Thank you for being alive. Thank you for surviving the airport adolescence of your youth. And I say to you, my brothers and sisters, success is our destiny through our I am magnificence. So now I'd like to, with you, do an invocation to invite our fellow healing warriors of ascended masters, of angels, forces of nature. But as always, before we begin, heed these words with me. Yes, I am forgiving all life in my past lives. I am forgiving everyone in my past lives. And I ask everyone in my past lives to please forgive me because I do not remember. And in this life, I ask everyone to please forgive me. And yes, I am forgiving everyone in this life. And with that being said, we now call upon forces of nature, Ilegba. We call upon Oshun, goddess of love, known by many names in various civilizations, Heteru in ancient Egypt, ancient Kemet, Venus in ancient Rome, Diana in Greece, Aphrodite, Lakshmi. We invite you to be on this show. Mother Ocean, Yemaya, be with us. Oya, join us, please. Shango, Ologun, Ogun, Obatala, be with us on the show tonight. We call upon Archangel Metatron to embrace everyone who is in the audience, live and in the future. Archangel Raphael, Archangel Michael, Archangel Gabriel, Archangel Uriel. We ask for your angels of light to embrace us day and night, all our family, friends, and loved ones. May we ascend into the true reality. As our Muslim brothers say, there is no reality other than love, or there is no reality other than God. Ali Allah illallah. That means there is no reality. Love is the only reality. Everything else we experience are dream inceptions, self-generated from this lifetime and previous lifetimes. So that is why it's so important to embrace our African, Hawaiian brothers and sisters of the Kahuna system to say, Ho'oponopono, I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I love you. Thank you. Because in the Hawaiian African system of Ho'oponopono, yes, you are a god. Yes, you are a goddess. However, with that being said, take responsibility of your multi-lifetime karmic debt or your karmic assets. Because we can carry karmic assets into the next life and we can carry karmic debts into this life. Nothing is unaccounted for. Everything we do in our lifetimes, previous and this lifetime, is scrolled on the halls of time. So we must lift ourselves and acknowledge, as Psalms 82:6 says, ye are gods, children of the one most high. Yes, I am. Now we call upon ascended masters of the universe. Call upon Simeon Toko, the latest Christ born in the Congo. We call on Sheikh Amadou Bamba. We call on, that's our guest. We call on Melchizedek, Black Madonna, Mother Mary. We call on Sanat Kumara, Kuthumi, Master Himalaya, the masters of Mount Shasta, the masters living in the earth's interior. We call upon Mosea Marcus Garvey. We call upon Frederick Douglass, Harriet Tubman. We call upon Nat Turner, John Brown. We call on Chief Geronimo, Chief Osceola, Shaka Zulu. We call upon the Shroom Masters, Kalindi Aye to be with us tonight, Dr. Sabi to be with us tonight, South African Zulu shaman, Credo Mutwa to be with us tonight. We call upon Crazy Horse, Sitting Bull, Chief Seattle, White Buffalo Calf Woman, Quetzalcoatl, Imhotep, Ptahotep, Akhenaten. We call upon Ascended Masters Buddha, Krishna, Ganesh. We call on Ascended Masters beyond the human species in the Sirius Dogon star system. We call on Ascended Masters to intervene upon our chicken farm prison planet that we call Earth, to take dominion over the ruling classes, known and unknown, on the Earth's surface and in the Earth's interior. We ask for divine intervention from the Orion star system, Palladian star system, and as we already said, the Sirius star system. We ask, family, together, individually and collectively, for divine intervention of ascended masters of love, power, and wisdom to intervene in the monkey minds of all those who are delusional in their dream inception of rulership. And may we rise to the occasion to become dream masters through our I am. And together we say, Ashe, so it is. Aho. I want to thank you. Before I bring on Professor Muhammed Bey, I want you to listen closely to his messages tonight. He's going to be dropping a subject that we all can relate to. and it's called Give Me My Money Back. Equity, justice. So without further ado, I want to bring on our brother, Muhammed Bey. Welcome to the show, my brother.
Greetings and peace to the God, family. Greetings and peace to you, Brother Hank.
Greetings and peace, brother. Greetings and peace.
Yes. Thank you, sir. Well, you know how I do it. Let's just get on into the show. I'm going to give it a little out.
All right, let me adjust the sound a second, brother. Hold up 1 second. Let me adjust the sound for you. Okay.
Thank you.
Go ahead. Talk a little bit first. I want to make sure you're good.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, okay, that's good. That's good.
That's good?
Yeah, that's good. Okay.
Okay.
Do your thing.
Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Allah is the greatest, Allah is the greatest, Allah is the greatest. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah. I bear witness that there is no deity but Allah. I bear witness that there is no deity but Allah. As-salatu khairan minan ni'am. As-salatu khairan minan ni'am. I bear witness that Muhammad is the messenger of Allah. I bear witness that Muhammad is the messenger of Allah. Hayya ala salah. Hayya ala salah. Come to prayer. Come to prayer. Hayya ala salah. Hayya ala salah. Come to your good. Come to your good. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Allah is the greatest, Allah is the greatest. La ilaha illallah. There is no deity but Allah. Hayya ala salah. Come to your good. As-salatu khairan minan ni'am. As-salatu khairan minan ni'am. Prayer is better than sleep. Prayer is better than sleep. Thank you, family. And the show tonight, he who seeks equity must find the court, which does equity.
So go ahead and do your thing. Family, I just posted your comments. I thank you for your energy. So feel free to do the blessings as our brother, Professor Muhammed Bey, speaks acoustic science so that we may have a better destiny because we are armed with the needed information. Now, remember, don't lose yourself and think just from this YouTube channel, the information Muhammed Bey is sharing with us, we can just run out there according to the little bit of knowledge he's sharing. Remember, this is a touch. Sparks create flames. Where there's smoke, there's fire. So when you want to tap into the flames of truth, you reach out to our brother, Professor Muhammed Bey, at the following contacts on the ticker tape beneath the screen: 786-624-8257. Email mrbay33169@gmail.com. Please continue, brother. You got the mic.
Thank you, sir. Okay, family. This is about, as I stated earlier, he who seeks equity must find the court. Now, we're talking about the equity court. There used to be a time when it was called the courts of chancery. Now, this is in Florida. Just to let you know, I did find the equity court in Florida. But I want you to hear some interesting stuff in it. Okay? Follow along with me. The Florida Constitution, through Article 5, vests the circuit courts with exclusive original jurisdiction over proceedings in equity. This exclusive grant of jurisdiction to the circuit court is also codified in Section 26.012 of the Florida statutes. which states that the circuit courts have exclusive original jurisdiction in all cases in equity. Section 26.012 also contains a provision, which means rule, granting the circuit courts exclusive original jurisdiction in all actions involving the title and boundaries of real property. Not real estate, real property. Foreclosure actions have been considered to be within the exclusive jurisdiction of the circuit courts because they are in equity and involve title to real property. Now, you see, Article 5 in the Judiciary Articles of the Constitution of the State of Florida, as revised in 1968, it replaced Article 5 of the Constitution of 1885, Section 20 in parentheses, small letter C in parentheses, number 3, provides circuit courts shall have jurisdiction of appeals from county courts and municipal courts, except those appeals which may be taken directly to the Supreme Court. And they shall have exclusive original jurisdiction in all actions at law, not cognizable, which means able to know, not able to know, by the county courts of proceedings relating to the settlement of the estate of decedents and minors, the granting of letters, testamentary, guardianship, involuntary hospitalization, the determination of incompetency, and other jurisdiction usually pertaining to courts of probate. In all cases in equity, including all cases relating to juveniles, of all felonies, and all misdemeanors arising out of the same circumstances as a felony, which is also charged. In all cases involving legality of any tax assessment or toll, in the action of ejectment, and in all action involving the title or boundaries of right or possession of real property, the circuit court may issue injunctions. Now, and this is that was a footnote. Now, this is the other footnote here. Foreclosures is an action in equity because it involves the title to property. Similar, Article 5, Section 5 states the circuit court have original jurisdiction not vested in the county courts. And Article 5, Section 20, in parentheses number 3, provides that the circuit courts have exclusive original jurisdiction in equity, all cases, including all cases relating to juveniles. As explicitly stated above, the Florida Constitution, as revised in 1968, states that the circuit court is the trial court empowered to act in equity. At this point, it should be recalled that equity was historically separate from law. There was a separate court of equity, also known as the Chancery Court. You see? So what they're really saying here, it used to be separate, but now they combine it with the law. But there's something interesting here they says about that. I'm going to keep reading. In which a petitioner should seek relief if he had clean hands and no adequate remedy at law. With the advent of the rules of civil procedure, equity and law merged. They merged. Although the distinction between the two forms of relief still exists and is important to maintain. So even though what they're saying, they merged them, but there's still that distinction between the two forms of relief. You see? So even though they put them together, but you just still have to know that there's a distinction between the two. And that's why you got to know where your court of equity is. See? Strictly speaking, there is no such tribunal in the judicial system of Florida known as the Chancery Court, though the circuit court of the state, when exercising its equity jurisdiction, is frequently spoken of as Chancery Court. Did you hear that? See, even though they hide it, but what they're still telling you is still there. Now, this is the interesting part. This is the footnote. Listen to it now. Jurisdiction is different from the inherent powers of the courts in that jurisdiction is conferred by constitutional and statutory authorization. Check this out. Whereas inherent powers do not depend upon express constitutional grant or on legislative will. In other words, our circuit court, we don't depend on for the constitutional to confer anything to it or any legislative will. So there is no express constitutional grant or legislative will. They have that power inherent to it be when it's to make decisions. So now, then it says, a court's power to act in equity has sometimes been regarded as inherited. Nevertheless, equity does have a subject matter jurisdictional component because in some cases only courts of general jurisdiction have inherited powers. The circuit courts, as courts of general jurisdiction, have inherited power. The power to grant equitable relief is sometimes considered an inherited power. Therefore, the circuit court are the courts with the power to grant equitable relief. Why? It's because it has the inherited power to do so. And it's not done by any constitutional grant or any legislative will. It does it on its own power. That's what I like about that. So what I'm telling you, I'm just sharing with you where our chancery court or court of equity, which whenever you want to call it, I know where mine is. It's the circuit court. Now, as the Florida trial level courts, the circuit court and county courts are sometimes distinguished as courts of general and specific jurisdiction. The circuit court is the court of general jurisdiction. See, that's the law. With power that may not be curtailed by the legislature. You see? Meaning that they can't even get involved or even tell them what to do. Because I just told you up here earlier that where inheriting power do not depend upon express constitutional grant or legislative will. On the other hand, presumption as to jurisdiction may not be invoked with regards to courts of limited jurisdiction. The fact on which jurisdiction for courts of limited jurisdiction rests must appear in the record. In other words, they can't do what the circuit court can do because they don't have that inheriting power. See? Now, the jurisdiction of the circuit court is general in that it is original of cases in equity and at law not controllable by an inferior court. In other words, its jurisdiction is primarily residual, enduring, or lasting. The jurisdiction of the court inferior to it is carved out of that given to the circuit court so that its original jurisdiction is limited only to lower level and remains otherwise general and unlimited. The circuit court, as courts of general jurisdiction, are the highest trial court in the state. Now, the legislature has codified the county court's subject matter jurisdiction in section 34.01 of the Florida statute in accordance with the Constitution. The subject matter jurisdiction of the circuit court is similarly codified in section 26.01 too. Because of this exclusive original jurisdiction and equity, all foreclosure, large and small, whether involving mortgages or other liens, were brought in circuit courts. This exclusive grant of jurisdiction and equity also meant that a county court case in which a party, at equitable defense had to be transferred to the circuit court, resulting in delay. Now, then I say here, why did I read you all this? Because first of all, you need to know where your court of equity is. It's there, but you know how they do. They always hide it from you. See, it's there. And you got to just do the search. And once you find that court with that inheritance power, that means they are the only one can make rulings in your pleading if you're dealing with your house. Okay? Now, let's say if you're dealing with the house, since I read all of that to you, and I told you where our Chancery Court of Equity is. Now I say, what is our solution? First of all, we have to understand what happened to us when we call ourselves bought a house. We have to understand how they played us. And they really played us. Really. First thing you must do is call the SEC. That's the Security and Exchange Commission. And request the application styled as the alleged promissory note, which actually cash was given to the bank's delegated agent at the time of signing. That's what you must do first. Secondly, you must request from the comptroller of the currency in your state, not on the federal level, but in your state, all registered documents for the bank's claim of an alleged loan given to the borrower. You. That's what they're alleging. Third, in your interrogatory, you must ask the bank's delegated agent, are you the holder in due course of the promissory note? If so, are you authorized to lend out your own money to somebody according to the National Currency Act? Are you legal title holder of the warranty deed? Did you list me as a tenant in the promissory note? Did you countersign my application, that application you filled out? Did you transfer my promissory note over to a new server? You know this is what they do. They always transfer it over to them new servers after so much time. I get into that in a minute. And why? Did you countersign the promissory note? Now, this is something Jonah Bey shared, because he used to do the mortgage foreclosure. I never did one, family, so I have to be honest here, you know. And this was some information he shared. Your promissory note, he said, is called a HUD-1 sheet. And then he said, there's something they use called a HUD-1 sheet that turns the application into a note. Okay? It had to be countersigned and turned into a check to be presented to the United States Corporation Agency for payout. So in other words, when they took your promissory note, right, then they had you sign it first. You remember the story. You signed it, and then you gave it back to them. Then what they did, so when they went behind closed doors, they did a countersign. Let's see what that word means. You know, we have to look up words today. We just can't guess at it. Let's see what countersign tells us. You know, we got to be thorough today, family. We got to know what words mean. Now, countersign means an additional signature added to a document that has already been signed. That's what you call fraud. Because once you sign it, they did not do what you call truth in lending, where they was fair with you. They were not fair with you. They were deceitful all the way around in the business deal. Okay? Now you know what countersign means. I'll read it again. Countersign means an additional signature added to a document that has already been signed. Now, keep that in mind. See, now, I'm trying to share with you, family, things you got to ask when you're in that chancery court. Because you just can't go in there not knowing what you're talking about. You can't do that. You have to ask them questions. Then I said, here, are you legal title holder of the warranty deed? I told you all that was a good one that y'all can ask the bank. And you see how they're going to look. I don't think they'll answer that, but they're going to be on the oath where they're going to have to answer. Because you can't say you're the title holder of that contract when your name is nowhere on it. That's why I kept telling y'all, look at your warranty deeds. Bank would never put their name on it. That would be exposing the fraud. Remember now, they gave you filled out an application styled as a promissory note, right? You signed it, and then they went behind your back and did a countersign. They had to do that in order to present it to the federal level to get paid. But they couldn't tell you. You see? So these are the questions you got. See, your interrogatory leads to your discovery. These are interrogatory, meaning these are questions you're asking them. You're probing them. Did you list me as a tenant in the promissory note? That's a question to them. Did you countersign my application? Question. Did you transfer my promissory note over to a new server, and why? See? And did you countersign the promissory note called the HUD 1 sheet? There is something they use called HUD 1 sheet that turns the application into a note. It had to be countersigned and turned into a check to be presented to the U.S. Corporation Agency for payout. They stamped the back of the HUD 1 sheet, which is called a countersign. That's fraud, family. That's fraud. Straight up fraud. And I'm going to give it to you from the net. Y'all also got to get the National Currency Act. Those are the laws that the banks have to follow. But I'm going to show you how they breaking the rules on you. Now, so in other words, your promissory note is recorded as a bank asset. You see? That's what they're going to do with it. When they countersigned it, they had to do that. Now they're going to take it, and it's going to be recorded as a bank asset. That's why I told you had already paid the house off. And then they came back to you on the public side with their criminal selves and double dipping and saying, now you're going to pay us for the next 30 years. And then you can ask them, because all bank directors, they take an oath. You can ask them, where's your oath of office that says you would follow the Constitution? Where's your foreign registration? Where's your performance bond? Are you a member of the Bar Association? You can ask the attorney that one. Is the Bar Association based out of Europe? These are all probing questions you can ask them. Now, let's get on into the goody with it. I want you to listen up, family. In the National Currency Act, Section 14, the second one, such as shall be mortgaged to it in good faith by way of security for loan made by such association or for money due thereto. See right there? A security for a loan. Now, in Section 11 in the National Currency Act, listen to what it says. The association is required by loaning money on real and personal security in the manner specified in their articles of association for the purpose authorized by this act. So in other words, what they're telling you, they had to give you money. See right there? That's another violation. That's fraud right there again. You know they didn't give you no money. They gave you something, which was that application that they converted into a promissory note. And then that converted over into a security. See? They did a conversion on you. But you didn't know the rest of the deal when they went behind closed doors on you. But right here is telling you they have to loan you money. because you issued them a security. And you gave them cash in hand. And you didn't even know what you was giving them when you signed and gave them all your personal information along with your social security number. Now, then if you get the book, Modern Money Mechanics, it tells you here, as stated in Modern Money Mechanics, page 6, last paragraph. Of course, the bank do not really pay out loans from the money they receive as deposit. What the bank do when they make loans is to accept promissory note. See? Loan contract in exchange for credit to the borrower's transaction account. See what it just said? So they had to issue it to you to get you to fill out to give them the money. And they went and got the money by doing a conversion, by doing a countersign and doing a conversion and stamping it on the back and sending it into the federal. And that's how they got paid. This is fraud because they did not give you any consideration or loan you any money in hand. I just told you in their own National Currency Act in Section 11, the association is required by loaning money on real and personal security. So when you was issuing them that security, they were supposed to give you some money in hand. And they didn't even transfer the money into no bank account of yours. You could ask them that. Excuse me, did you transfer any money into my bank account? See, all of them interrogatory questions leading to discovery. And all the things I just said to you, all the questions, they cannot answer. But you know how I say, don't take my word for it. Go and read the act itself. Now, the National Currency Act, Section 14, this is saying that the bank cannot hold a mortgage longer than 5 years. Did y'all know that? It's right there in your National Currency Act. I've been had this Currency Act for years. I done read it and marked it all up and everything. So the question you must ponder is, how do I have a mortgage over 5 years according to the National Currency Act? Gotta ask yourself that question. Do y'all really know what I'm saying? What I'm saying to your family, if you haven't been in that house over 5 years, you shouldn't be paying another damn mortgage on it. Because the bank cannot hold it over 5 years. If you've been paying 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 12, 15 years, all of that's considered fraud. That's right there in your National Currency Act.
So how do banks get away with that?
Say again?
If it's supposed to be just for 5 years, how do the banks get away with it?
Because they know you don't know. So if you and I playing the crap game and you don't know the game of craps, I got the craps loaded on you, then if I'm winning all the time and you don't know the game of craps, you can say, hey, this guy winning all the time. Remember, knowledge is power. So long as I can keep you blind, that you want to allow your eyes to see the truth, deaf, so you want to allow your ears to practice the truth, dumb, because you won't even allow your tongue to practice speaking the truth. So that's what we mean by blind, deaf, and dumb. So that's why you have messengers come along and give the knowledge to you, so we can open that third eye of yours and get all get it uncalcified. So you can understand what's going on. But you got to read their laws, the bank laws, the National Currency Act. They have to follow that to the letter. Now listen to this one now. Number 4. This is Section 14 again. The fourth one. It's 4. It's a first, second, third, and fourth. This is the fourth one. Listen to what it says. Such association shall not purchase or hold real estate in any other case or any other purpose than as specified in this section, nor shall it hold possession of any real estate under mortgage or hold title in possession of any real estate purchase the secured debt due to it being longer than a period of more than 5 years. So why are you holding the mortgage over 5 years? See, the bank's smart. They give it, that's why they give you a new server. So if you started out with this bank, then a couple of years, maybe into the 4th year, they switch servers on. Because they know they don't own the property, and they know they never loaned you anything. See? You need to know that. You need to know that when you going against them in your case. So y'all been hustling money out of me for 10 years. That's what you call unjust enrichment. And boy, they've been doing some unjust enrichment on us. And then your county is right behind. Because they hit you with the ad valorem tax at the end of the year, not on the contract, which is the warranty deed, but on the promissory note. So all of them are in bed together, scratching them fleas. See, the promissory note, I'm going to keep saying it. The promissory note is your contract to that house. You own it. Not the promissory note, but the warranty deed. Excuse me, I meant to say the warranty deed is your actual contract to the house. Not no promissory note or mortgage deed. That's why I say in your case, when you got them greedy bankers in the court, you say, let me ask you a question. Are you the legal title holder of the warranty deed? Now, you already know they can't answer yes because, first of all, their name is not on the contract. So they can't answer that. But remember now, but they own the record. So he got to answer, or she. For the record, on the record, in the record. Let the record reflect. Now, according to the National Currency Act, this is considered fraud. Hold on, fam. And it goes against the act on its face. Their National Currency Act. You see? Because, remember, corporations are in trust also. So really, they got your house under trust, right? Holding it for 5 years until they switch the servers on you. Hoping you don't peep the game. And remember, we say the bank, the bank cannot have it showing more than 5 years on their ledger. Because that would be considered fraud. This is illegal. This is what you call an illegal conversion, even when they are endorsing the check, which is called a countersign, and they got paid twice. And they hustling you. And you all been under the perception that they are not countersigning you. They are countersigning you. You just ain't seeing it. That's the only way they can get paid. They can't let you see what they do after they get you to sign everything and give your social, your personal information. They can't let you see that because they know it's fraud. That's what they did to put that security. You see? So the promissory note and the mortgage deed are countersigned because you signed and they countersigned it without your knowledge and agreement. This is the violation of the National Currency Act. This is why they are concealing your efforts from going into the Court of Chancery or Equity Court. Yes, this is the act. This act comes under the Equity Court because it is equitable. And you can plead your case about it in the Court of Chancery or Equity Court. Remember, you are not going in the Equity Court fighting a mortgage on the house because you believe that promissory note and mortgage deed are the actual contract to the house. I explained that to you. The house was used as a pretext for you signing the promissory note and the mortgage deed. Those was the mortgage-backed securities that is regulated and governed by the SEC, which you had given them consideration and equity as cash in hand. That's what you did. You thought it was just a piece of paper. these have to do with security violations and fraud of the National Currency Act. I told you your warranty deed is regulated and governed by the Homestead Exemption, Section 4. And the promissory note and mortgage deed is governed and regulated by the SEC, the Security and Exchange Commission, and they are called mortgage-backed security. You must know how to present your bill of complaint in the court of chancery or equity court, and knowing how to win your case. Now let me go back to that homestead, because y'all may be a little confused with it. See, that it's right in front of your face. That's why you got to get a copy of your Constitution. It tells you in there where it is exempt. But don't take my word for it. I'm going to read it to you. What governs your warranty deed? It is governed by the 1885 Florida Constitution, Article 10, Homestead and Exemptions, Section 4. Listen to what it says. Nothing in this article shall be construed to prevent the holder of a homestead from alienating, that word alienating, that means transfer ownership to somebody else. His or her homestead so exempt by deed or mortgage. See right there? You exempt by deed or mortgage. Duly executed by himself or herself. See, by yourself, himself or herself, meaning you, and by husband and wife, if such relationship exists, nor if the holder be without children to prevent him or her from disposing, get rid of, by throwing away or giving or selling to someone else of his or her homestead. Homestead mean a house, building, or land, by will, determination in a manner prescribed by law. In other words, what they're saying, this is why when you as the debtor gives it over to whom? The trust, which is a secured party on your non-UCC. Because they have the right to do that. According to the UCC 9-311, it has the right to give it to whom it please. So you give it over to the express trust. Why? Because the trust is the highest and truest creditor in commerce. And the trust owes no one nothing. You need to get your Constitution. Because your real contract is the warranty deed to the house, not the promissory note nor the mortgage deed. Those are securities. Y'all just don't know what you got in your hand. You got all the proof right there. And you ain't going to see no bank name on it, no delegated agent. You're going to see a grantor's name, whoever that grantor is, whoever that delegated agent is for the bank that does business on behalf of the bank. But you're not going to see that bank name on like Bank of America, Chase, Wells Fargo. You're not going to see their name on it. And then it's going to say a grantor. There was a contract between the grantor and the grantee. The grantor considered something from somebody. And the grantee, which is you, gave $10 over to the grantor, and the grantor accepted it, and the house was bought and paid $10. I know y'all probably saying, boy, what is he smoking over there? Well, I don't even smoke, first of all, but we'll get that clear. But you can take it or leave it. I can lead you to the water, but I can't make you drink. I'm telling you, if you look at that warranty deed, that house is yours. And it's going to say $10. I don't care whether you're in New York, California, Florida, Massachusetts, Kansas, it's going to say the same thing. Why? It's because you had already paid it off when you sat down there and did the securities with them. You had already given them consideration and equity. See what I mean by when you lack knowledge? So when we lack knowledge, then we go do things that hurt us. See? So I'm only trying to help you and not hinder you. So if you got them mortgages, listen, I know how to do your mortgage. I know how to get you off that, get you from paying that monthly so-called mortgage note you got, and also get rid of that tax from the county hitting you up with that ad valorem tax. And to be frank with you, if y'all understand what I'm saying, your real contract is the promissory note. So if on the not the promissory note, but the warranty deed. I'm sorry, the warranty deed. That's your real contract to the house, not the other two. So now if you look at that, you can go down to the county commissioner, tax commissioner, and say, hey, I got my contract here, but y'all charging me way over too much money in tax. Because they can only levy and assess the $10. Do y'all understand what I'm saying? They can't, what they're doing to you, they're levying you and assessing off the promissory note, off the security you gave. You see that fraud, that double dipping? They already stealing from you, and then the county gonna levy the total amount from the promissory note because that's the money you gave them when you fill out the application. So they hitting you all upside the head. Come on, family, you gotta wake up, smell that coffee. It's brewing. You've been bamboozled, hit in the head, taken on a westerly course. Now I'm trying to bring you back. Your warranty deed is your actual contract to that house. You've been on it once you completed your signing with them. You could have went down to your county about 7 days after that and tell them to get a copy of that warranty deed. And your house, we would have showed you that you paid for that house for $10.
Wow.
$10. And then now you can sue the county for fraud, embezzling, and all of that RICO, because that's what they're doing with all these mortgages. They levying you on that promissory note, that security.
So between the
that's
bank and the church, the mass of the population are a bunch of low-thinking suckers. Is that what you're saying?
Mm-hmm.
Damn. No wonder why 3-Card Monty's still doing well all over the world.
Mm-hmm. As long as I can keep you ignorant and blind, deaf and dumb, sure I will be. Then in here, I'm going to show you in here where I told you all that your trust is the natural person. Section 11. This is the National Privacy Act. And be it further in that every association formed pursuant to the provision of this act may make and use a common seal. Don't you use a seal for your trust? And shall have succession by the name designated in its articles of association, and for the period limited therein not, however, exceeding 20 years from the passage of this act, by such names may make contract, sue, and be sued, complain, and defend in any court of law or equity as fully as natural persons. See?
Wow.
And may make by laws approved by the control of the currency, not inconsistent with the laws of the United States or the provision of their act. So in other words, if you understand here in their laws, this is how you beat them. This is what regulates them, the National Currency Act. So what I'm saying to you, only your trust can go into court. You see? You only can go into court. Like me, I say Professor Muhammed Bey is the authorized trustee of trust to come in and plead the following bill of equity lawsuit for the property that the trust owns, known as. That's your location, your address. trustee got to go in there and plead. And you damn sure better have a good trustee and not somebody who don't know what they're talking about or what they're doing. I don't care, if I'm considered foreign. I'm not a 14th Amendment. So I can go into the court myself and talk about Alfred Muhammed Bey Trust. Who is going to talk it up better than me anyway? That's why I told y'all the last time about the court order. It would be easy for you when you can make your own self your trustee.
So until you get the court order, you are 14th Amendment synthetic artificial GMO Negro? Is that what you're saying?
That's why you would have to get an authorized person to represent your trust. I don't need no authorized person to represent mine. I am foreign. That's why I told you the court order tell you who you are and who you are not.
Damn!
Now, if you don't have a foreign trustee and you make your trustee a U.S. 14th Amendment, guess what? Oh, they're going to pierce that. They're going to pierce that trust because what do you mean, Brother Bay, they're going to pierce it? They're going to call your trustee who you got as a 14th Amendment and they have to talk now because you're a 14th Amendment.
So what about
on the other hand, with me, when I go in there, excuse me, Judge, no, I don't want to say that. Chancellor, I would love to talk, but as foreign trustee, I can't disclose any information about the trust. Why? It's because I'm foreign to the corporation. And my jurisdiction is foreign. That's why the trust is listed in Taiwan. Don't y'all remember when you did the 98 number? Taiwan. So when I did my trust, that's the address I put as far as the location of the trust. But the mailing address is my general post office. That's how I got it set up. Go to the general post. So I don't have no mail coming where I lay my head.
This is nothing short of amazing because
y'all don't know what your little brother got over here. I keep trying to tell you. I know the process like the back of my head. Why? Because I'm living it. You can have your mail going right to that general. I told you there was two entities there. The United States Postal Service and the United States Post Office. You look at them buildings, it'll have both of them right on the building.
Wow.
Two entities occupying in the same building. You see? So, family, what I'm saying to you, you're going to have to get your National Currency Act and get your copy of your Constitution. Your warranty deed is governed by the homestead exemptions. And I just read to you in there, and you exempt by deed or mortgage. That means you exempt by deed or mortgage. Y'all know what exempt means? You don't have to pay that mortgage. And that's the one on the private side in the Constitution. They got a public one. You don't want the public one, you want the private one. I told you where you got to go to your Constitution. Y'all got to be students, man. I'm still a student. Just bringing you the info. I want freedom, justice, and equality. And you all should want that too. I'm only your little brother.
Little brother.
But you know, I carry a heavy stick though.
Go ahead, brother.
You see? So what I'm telling you all, if it's good for me, it should be good for you.
Right.
Shit, I ain't trying to wait till I die and get some pie in the sky. I don't believe in that. I want it right down where I put my feet on the earth. Right now.
Facts.
Now, I can't speak for y'all, but I want mine right now. I ain't waiting until I'm going nowhere. I'm in the best part already.
Well, thank
You
you,
see what
brother.
I'm saying?
Thank you.
And I done gave y'all know every time I come, I give y'all good info.
Yes, you
You're
do.
gonna have to find out who, the name of your chancery court or equity court, a court of equity. You got to find that out. And then you're going to have to go and read that book. That's what the brother reading on his show, Jonah, where he reading the chancery book, How to Sue. I'm reading it too. Because I know I'm going in there. But I got to be prepared. Because you may only get one shot. And I already told you who you all got to sue. You're going to sue that Bureau of Vital Statistics for corruption of the blood. And if you got a mortgage, you're going to go in there on your mortgage.
Wow.
Oh, yeah. If y'all got mortgages, you go in there on your mortgage. And them criminals, they've been living good house to hog on y'all. Living fat, rich, wax. And mainly them Jews.
European
Don't get mad
Jews.
at me because I call them out. That's who getting rich off. They the one who benefit.
Ashkenazi.
They run the court systems. They run the banks. They run the counties. All the title companies. Appraisals. Don't think they don't. That's why they live good. And tell you they God's chosen people. And you believe that garbage. Oh, see, you shouldn't talk like that. Well, you ain't me. I'm telling you who fraud you. They don't put their children in the same school you put yours in. Why you think that is? They don't want you teaching. But we'll let anybody teach jobs.
Wow.
This is what we need to be teaching our children because them damn schools don't do nothing for them anyway. Dumb them down.
Again and again and again.
Get you a good job. Every damn body can't get no good job. And definitely the black male, sister, you get it quicker than we'll get it. Because you ain't more of a threat than we are. And definitely when you got a black man got some knowledge in his head, he's really dangerous to him. Just by what I'm sharing with y'all.
Yep.
Y'all don't know this is big stuff y'all get. This ain't no watching TV action. Y'all getting some real education. Or when we say education. I done been to school, man. I done sat in them colleges, got a degree in there on the wall, dusty. I got a BAS degree. Y'all never hear me talk about that? That didn't teach me what I know now. So, man, find out who your equity court is, where your equity court is. Then you're going to need to know that. If you want to get remedy, you're going to have to know your equity court, and you're going to have to go and read that book of chancery. To show you how to sue. I'm close to it. Because it's got some templates in there too. But see, I want to read first.
Okay, I think
so if you go to that court, you call it the Lord Chancellor.
You gave him enough for tonight, brother. Y'all see the contact information.
Sometimes it ain't enough.
Let them digest it.
Our people 400-500 years behind, so I can't say it's enough.
Yeah, you got that right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. But again, family, contact information, 786-624-8257. Email MrBay33169@gmail.com. And
if I may, Brother Hank, all y'all who got those mortgages, who's suffering and rubbing your hand and don't know what you're going to do because the bank lying to you, telling they putting it on the back end. I know what they're telling you. But I'm telling you, you need to get into the trust. You need to get with me, get your trust set up so you can continue to keep your house that you done paid for about 2-3 times over. All right, family?
Yep.
I know how to do all of that. You got to do trust minutes. You got to do a declaration of trust. You got to do DBA, non-UCC lien, warranty deed, real property transfer of ownership, notice of security agreement, and power of trustee.
Hold on a second. I see someone where the name of Everything is Everything. He asked the question, can Brother Muhammad give us the names of the books again? Brother, I think it's time for you to get a consultation because we're about to wrap up this program tonight. Read on the ticket tape line, play Monopoly with our brother who gave us an hour of his precious time, and have an attitude of gratitude because we're going to wrap it up. I want to thank you again. Until the next chapter, same more time, same more channel. Peace to the God. Welcome to Magnets, Crystals, and Pyramids. Success is